Well, hello everyone. I do hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to Monday's edition of Take 5. It's a brand new week. We've got a brand new subject that we're going to be dealing with. I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. The title of it is simply Forgetful and Fruitful, and we're going to be talking about Joseph again. And we're probably, no, not probably, we're only going to talk about the forgetful part. We didn't even get to the fruitful part. We'll worry about that in a week or two when we get to do that. So we're going to be talking about forgetful. What it is to learn to forget. And I think we're going to see that it's a little different than maybe what some of us are thinking even right now. Now, you're familiar with the story of Joseph, how things went down at 17 years of age. God gives him two dreams back to back that reveal what his divine purpose is going to be, that he is actually going to be above his brothers and his whole family. They're going to have to submit to him. They're going to look to him for leadership and guidance and even provision in their life. And you know what happened? The brothers didn't like it. And the old daddy Jacob, he really didn't like it either. But he said he would mark it and he'd keep his eye on it. But you know how things went from there. His brothers didn't like him. They envied him because he was Jacob's favorite. They despised him because of the dreams and the fact that Joseph actually thought that this was something that he could do. They mistreated him. They maligned his character as much as possible. They beat him up. They took that coat of many colors from him. They threw him down in a pit there. They carried the coat back to their dad and tore it and put some blood on it and to make Jacob believe that an animal had killed him. They sold him into slavery to the Midianites. The Midianites turned around and sold him to a man by the name of Potiphar, who was captain of the armies of Pharaoh. He served there in Potiphar's house until Potiphar's wife lied on him. Then he's thrown in jail, mistreated there. He serves in jail, and then he's forgotten about while he's in jail. But finally, 13 years after God gave him the dreams, it becomes a reality. Pharaoh himself has a couple of dreams that have to do with the future of the whole Middle East, not just Egypt, but the whole Middle East. And the butler remembers how Joseph interpreted dreams for he and the baker. And so he tells Pharaoh about Joseph. Joseph comes out of prison there and he interprets the dreams, telling Pharaoh that there's going to be 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine, and that if they didn't make provisions during the years of plenty, the 7 years of famine would be so bad they would not even remember the good years that they had had prior to that. And he said, you need to find somebody that can put this in order. And Pharaoh said, well, it looks like you the man. You're hired. You've got the job. And he made him vice pharaoh, second in command in all of the land of Egypt. He said, I'm Pharaoh, and the only thing in which I will be greater than you is in the throne. Everybody beneath me, he said, will bow knee to you and have to answer to you. So Joseph did what he told Pharaoh he would do. And for the 7 years of plenty, he laid up 20% from each year of all of the crops and what they had made and put it aside. And then when the years of famine came, they had plenty of food for all of Egypt. Plus, Egypt was able to sell food to all the nations around the Middle East, far and near. In that passage that you're reading there about that event in Genesis chapter 41, we come to a place where it says, and to Joseph were born two sons before the years of the famine came, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, a priest of On, bore to him. Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, which meant, God has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second son he called Ephraim, which meant, God has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And that's where we get the title from, Forgetful and Fruitful, but we're just going to talk about forgetful. God has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. That's what Joseph said. Now, when you begin to talk about what it is to forget something, we kind of use that term forget a little loosely, don't we? You know, we say, I forgot about this, I forgot about that, I forgot about somebody's birthday, I forgot my car keys, I forgot it was Sunday, I forgot to go to church, whatever the case may be. Our everyday use of the term, the word kind of loses its validity and it becomes very passive. It becomes something that we didn't mean to do or something that was unintentional. But the word forget, when you look at it from the scriptures, it's very proactive. It's not something that we do haphazardly. It's something that we do on purpose. Listen to the definitions, if you will, and it will kind of play into why you understand. Joseph is saying, God has helped me to forget all of my hardship, all of the hurt, all of the pain, all that my brothers did to me, all that my father did to me, all that I've been through. God has helped me forget all of that. And let me tell you something before I give you the definition. If we don't learn to forget some of these things, our future will constantly be controlled by our past, and that was never God's intention. So to define it and understand that it is really a word of purpose, there are three definitions that help bring it to full fruition and understanding. Number one, it's to disregard intentionally. So it's not something that I accidentally do. It's something that I do on purpose. We use it as an accidental, haphazard term, but it's not that. It's something that I disregard intentionally. That means I have a past, I have problems, I have issues, I've been hurt, my character's been maligned, but I'm choosing to disregard that on purpose. Definition number two is to purposely put something behind you. So again, on purpose, I'm not going to let my past control me. I'm going to put it behind me. And if I put it behind me, that means that up until now it's been in front of me. And I'm not going to let my past continue to be in front of me to keep me and restrict me from getting to the dream that God has for my life. So I am going to purposefully put this thing behind me. And then definition number three is having memories of the past events, but not bound by their restraints. That means I remember the hurt. I remember the pain. I remember the sorrow. I remember the regret and the grief. I remember even the mistakes that maybe I made. I remember all of that, but I am not bound by the restraints of that. I am putting it behind me. I am putting it in my past. That's what forgetting is. And this form of forgetting does not mean that you erase something from your mind. That's what we want. We want to erase the memory so that we never think about it again. We never dwell on it again. We never have those thoughts. That's what we want to do. And friend, it just doesn't work that way. I wish we could just flip a switch and make memories of mistakes and hurt and sin and regret and all that. Just make it go away, but we cannot do that. So we've got to learn to deal with it, and we deal with it by trusting God to help us forget it and put this thing behind us. The word forget carries the same meaning as the word forsake, which means to acknowledge the past while turning away from it with no intention of returning. Friend, if we continue looking back and remembering the past always, our future is going to be determined by the past mistakes and hurts that are behind us. These things should be in our rearview mirror. And there should be something that we only glance at every once in a while. We keep our focus on the windshield where we're going. And the only reason we glance in that rearview mirror is to look back there and be thankful for where God has brought us from. There's some things that we need to learn to forget, and we're going to talk about them this week. I believe we're going to get a new idea and a new understanding about what it is to truly be forgetful. Hey, it's been good to be with you today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Take 5. Till then, God bless you. Have a great day. Hey, trust the Lord, my friend. He will never fail you.